What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends 85th anniversary single figures. So first we're looking at Wolverine, the Astonishing Wolverine, which looks awesome. Another newer Wolverine to go with our Astonishing X-Men. We're starting to slowly build out, it seems, so he looks really cool. Then we get a new Superior Spider-Man, looks pretty awesome as well. And of course I'll go into more story, but Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body looks awesome there. And then we also get an updated Warbird, or Miss Marvel as this is more known, so looks very nice. Nice to have her in that newer body. Now we have more than just these three, of course. We also have Skaar, the son of Hulk, so he looks awesome. Nice big figure there. Again, a nice updated design compared to the old figure that we'll have. And then we'll just go and throw in here as well the Ghost Rider with motorcycle. Oh, of course, hard to fit in the camera here, but we get the Ketch Ghost Rider on his motorcycle. That looks pretty awesome there as well. And of course, these do have a cool picture on the back. I guess his is a little bit different, more showing off the accessories and everything for the bike, but like the Wolverine just has like comic pictures there on the back, which is pretty cool. So we have these 5 figures to look at today, and all of them look really cool, and I'm super excited to take a look at these and compare them to our older figures we have. So let me go ahead and get these figures open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. Well, let's start off with the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine. Now, of course, we've looked at multiple Wolverines over and over again, so it's going to be pretty much the same story, but instead, more specifically for the Astonishing X-Men, it began in 2004 and was written by Joss Whedon with the artwork done by John Cassaday, so it's his work that we get here. And the X-Men team was led by Cyclops and Emma Frost, and on the team was Beast, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, and Wolverine. And overall, this looks pretty cool. To me, the Astonishing X-Men is always like one of those iconic X-Men teams, especially with the looks and design. So getting a Wolverine here is awesome. Of course, we have had an older version before, but just having this in a new updated body is really cool, and really like the design of this. So this is an awesome looking figure. So we get the unmasked head of Logan there, which looks good. It does look a little bit too realistic to me. Now, when I have like comic characters, I want more like cartoony looks to it. I don't want more real looking, which this looks more real, so I'm not a huge fan of this, but I think it looks amazing. They did a really good job. It just looks too real for what I'm looking for. So I love his hair coming up to the point and the big mutton chops coming down. Just looks good overall for that face. And then we get his outfit, of course, with the classic blue and yellow with sort of like the tiger stripe designs on the side. So it's not really the stripes, they're just sort of like zigzag designs on the side there, with the nice yellow down the center and down the legs with the blue on the side. So we have shoulder pads coming over and down the sides with a little bit of yellow in there. Blue gloves with yellow boxes on them, and of course his nice claws, nice claw designs coming out there. Belt around the waist with the X-Men logo, a little bit of blue coming down the thighs as well, and then blue boots on his feet with some yellow squares on there. So nice classic boot designs for him as well, and looks pretty similar, at least, you know, not exactly, but relatively similar to what Wolverine was wearing in Deadpool and Wolverine. So looks pretty nice overall for this design. But we'll do his movement, so his head will twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. So unfortunately, not the best movements. There's no hinge in there. Just looks like probably a dumbbell joint, so not a whole lot of range, but it's not bad for what he's got. Then we can go to the shoulders that do come up to 90. Of course, have this shoulder pad that does move and get out of the way a little, so it's not going to interfere too much. But we get the butterfly joint that moves back and forth as well. Good range for that. But as usual, goes further back than it does forward, so that's always annoying. I wish it would come forward more, but nice to have that there. And of course, we'll rotate around within there, and it seems, yeah, the shoulder pad will move around with it. Then we get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. Of course, with the pinless joints, it's probably going to be stiff, but can bend up that far at least, so not bad at all. With the wrist that'll twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so he has the upper ab crunch and like sort of curl around there, so it can crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then we also do have the lower ab crunch. It's kind of hidden behind the belt, but it can crunch further forward and further back there with that crunch, so you get good range back and forth. Down to the hips up to 90, out to the side, yeah, pretty much can do the splits there for him, which is nice. Thigh twist all the way around. We get the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, again a little stiff, but not far from kicking his butt. No shin twist on him or anything, but the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good movements overall. Like I said, it's not exactly perfect, but of course with Wolverine, he's all short and squat and pretty thick, so he's not going to have all the best range of movements, but he's got pretty decent for it here. But for accessories, we do get an unmasked head, so of course this is what I'd prefer. Nice unmasked head. It's got the nice black wings off to the side, of course yellow helmet design, all that, so it looks pretty nice. Let's switch that out. So there's the masthead. It looks a little too small, so that's a little bit awkward, but it still looks good. I do like that a lot. So very nice to have this overall Wolverine design here. Looks pretty awesome. We do also get some extra hands. Not that they're really important. Always got to have the claw hands, but we do get a set of fist hands. So of course for left and right, set of fists with no claws, as well as a couple of like action hands, I guess you call it. So we get a pointing hand as well as just an open splayed out finger hand, again with no claws coming out of it. So we get those hand options as well. But like I said, of course, we always got to have the Wolverine claws shown. So we'll just, of course, leave these on. And of course, with that, we can bring in the old Wolverine to compare. So here's the old one. I don't know when it came from or anything, but this is the one we've been using for our Astonishing XMen Wolverine. Of course, doesn't look bad. You can see some similarities with the designs and all that. You know, this was the older Astonishing compared to this new one. More, I'd say probably more accurate design, which looks really nice. And of course, now that we have this Wolverine, we can add him in with the rest of our Astonishing X-Men. And there's our Astonishing X-Men team now with Wolverine. So it looks pretty cool to have a more accurate version in there. Now we just need to get an updated version of this beast because I love this look. Just need an updated figure as well as a Kitty Pryde. And of course we don't have a Colossus yet that goes with the Astonishing X-Men. So we got at least 3 members of the team and new updated designs that look really cool. So we just need to get the rest of the team. So adding that Wolverine is really cool. And next up, we've got Superior Spider-Man, who is Otto Octavius. Now, Otto used an Octobot to transplant his mind into the body of Spider-Man and Peter's into the body of the dying Otto Octavius. However, he retained all of Peter's memories, enough to fool everyone Peter knew, and Otto promised to continue Peter's legacy and become a better man to be a superior Spider-Man. So he has all the same powers of Peter Parker since he is in his body, as well as his suit that has enhanced lenses, as well as a wrist device and his spider arms coming off the back. So overall looks pretty cool. Of course, this is a figure we've already had before, and I'll show you that comparison, but looks pretty nice, of course, with this newer updated body, but looks nice overall. So we still have the Spider-Man webbing design up top, so with the black web designs on the red, looks nice. Then we come down to the spider logo that has the legs coming off that connects into the black, and these got mostly just black everywhere else. So from the chest down there, pretty much all black. So down the arms where he has the wrist gauntlets on, as well as down the legs, all black till you get to the red on the feet there. So looks pretty nice overall, just a lot of black on the Spider-Man, but pretty nice design for what he's got. And what's cool with the lenses as well, it's kind of got a design to be like the city or something, so it's like he's seeing buildings or just some sort of design in there that looks pretty nice, just designing those lenses. But otherwise, it's not going to be too interesting. It's just another Spider-Man body, but for its movements, its head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent range. It does have that hinge, so it gets much better range in there. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth. Again, not a whole lot of range, but it's at least got some. Will twist all the way around with the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend up that far, so not too bad at all. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so we get the ab crunch cut out, so crunch forward and crunch back. They're really far back and that far forward, so not bad. Twist all the way around at the waist. Get the hips up to 90 and out to the side, kind of like a drop down hip there as well, with a thigh twist all the way around, the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking his butt, shin twist at the top of his boots, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So pretty good articulation, it has pretty much the stuff. Just does have the newer Spider-Man where it's got like the lower ab crunch or the 2 ab crunch designs put together, but other than that, works out just fine the way it is here. But for accessories, we do get an additional head, so we get just kind of like a basic head, so we don't have any real designs, and the lens is just a nice like pearlescent white, so it's got a nice shine to it and everything, but just a basic head other than that. But I kind of like the designs in the lenses. Then we get additional hands, so it's got to have the Spider-Man whip hands, so obviously for shooting his webbing. Looks nice with the red and black designs to match. And then we also get a set of claw hands, so he does also have like claw designs with this, so he's got like claw fingers there, so you can have those as well, which is cool. Then we do get some back design, like backpack designs. So we get this that we can plug into his back. You see it's got a 3 peg design with 3 peg holes there. So we can plug this in his back. So we just have that basic. So as this version of Spider-Man, nothing too crazy or anything about it there. But then we do also get an enhanced version that's going to be much bigger, that has the slots to put his Spider-Man arms in it. So we can put this in and then put those arms in. So there's that on his back now. And then like I said, we get spider arms. So we have 4 arms like we've seen before. So we get these 4 arm designs that we can now plug in. Of course, it's kind of hard to figure out how to pose him up here, but there we've got Spider-Man with all of the arms coming off now. So it looks really cool, nice design. Of course, I am worried with the way they plug into the backpack that they could break off really easily because they don't go fully. At least I can't get them in any further, so they sort of stick out and could easily, lead to breakage, especially like, breaking the little pegs off. But the arms do have articulation, so they can sort of rock back and forth, so they have hinges back and forth. Of course, at the backpack, you have to kind of get them loose, but they will twist around so you can get them more up in the air or curved down, again, however you want to do it. But we get the first little hinge there, then we get a hinge here that can, of course, rock back and forth and twist side to side. And again, at each of the different segments, will rock back and forth and twist side to side. And at the very end, rock back and twist side to side with the little points there on the end. So, of course, we've seen these with like the Iron Spider and all that sort of stuff. So he just has all these legs coming off that he can use to fight, which look pretty cool with that. And with this being Otto Octavius, makes sense with his tentacles that he usually has coming off his back. But as I said, we've already had a Superior Spider-Man, so here is that older design. So of course, nice updated body compared to this older one. But you can see relatively the same design with the red up top going into the black, and relatively similar designs overall, just obviously the new updated body and the arms that go on his back. So looks really cool and a nice, awesome Superior Spider-Man. And next up we have Warbird, also known as Miss Marvel, who is Carol Danvers. Now she's half human, half Kree, and she would join the Air Force to become a pilot, where she met Captain Marvel, who was impersonating Dr. Lawson at the time, and they ended up falling in love. And through this, she was eventually captured by Yonrog and taken to a Kree outpost, where she was knocked into a Kree machine that would activate her Kree powers, turning her into a Kree warrior known as Miss Marvel. But years later, Wasp would redesign her a new costume made of unstable molecules so she could distance herself from her original Kree design. So that's the outfit she has here. And eventually she would join up with the Avengers and rename herself Warbird after the Air Force fighter planes. Now for powers, she has a power of flight, superhuman strength, durability, agility, and reflexes, as well as energy absorption and photon blast. So she looks pretty cool, again getting a nice updated version of Miss Marvel, which is probably what I'm always going to call her, because in this design I always knew her as Miss Marvel. But she looks really nice again with the new updated body, looks really good overall. So we get her blonde hair nice flowing there in the wind with the little mask around her eyes. Then she's got the black outfit, so pretty much the spandex top that goes from her neck all the way down with the nice yellower gold like lightning bolt design on there. Red wrappings or sash there around her waist, which continues on of course with their later designs. Then she has sleeves that come up her arms, so pretty high there, and black boots that come up her thighs with the nice points up at the top there. So overall pretty nice design for her. So just having this new updated body for this version of Miss Marvel, or Warbird in this case, looks really nice. Now moon-wise, we get that'll twist around. Of course, the hair is going to be in the way, but it still can twist all the way around. So you can look down that far and then up just pretty much straight on because of the hair. There is a hinge in there, so it allows more movement, but the hair, of course, isn't going to allow too much in the back. The shoulders come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth, so moves nice and smooth, and will twist around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far all the way up on itself, so really nice. We get the wrist that'll twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so just under her chest, crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then she has the lower ab crunch as well, so more towards the waist, so she can crunch back and forth. So really nice with those crunches. Then we can go to the hips up to 90 and out to the side. Get the thigh twist lower down here, so it's more towards the lower thigh. We'll twist around, and the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not bad at all. And then we go down to the foot, that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good movements overall for a nice, smooth, easy movements for the figure. And then it just works out really good for her. Now for accessories, we do get an additional head. So we have this head that has like an older design. So this is more older classic. So you have the smaller mask around her eyes, and then her hair just, really much the same. Just isn't as flowing in the wind as much. You can just have those two different designs. We get some additional hands, of course, more for power hands like the magic hands, which I think I will switch out. And with those hands, we can also give some of her photon effects. So we get some of this orange like plasma or whatever we can put around her hands as well. So there she's got the effects on her arms, which fits pretty nice for Miss Marvel, so really like that design. Now, of course, we've had older versions as well, so this is going to be a new updated version. So here's that older one. So again, pretty much exact same design, just obviously this newer is better improved with the body, as well as the look and everything looks so much better on this newer one. And then, of course, more recently now she's Captain Marvel. So now we just need this version of Captain Marvel updated with the newer body, because this one is pretty old as well. So just this new Warbird looks pretty awesome. Love the design, love all the joints and everything about it. Just works out so good. This is such a good figure. And next up we have Skaar, which is the son of the Hulk and Kyera the Old Strong, born on the planet of Skaar. Now Hulk had become the king of Skaar and made a treaty with the Shadow People by taking Kyera as his wife. She eventually became pregnant, but the warp core of Hulk's shuttle exploded, killing her, so the Hulk returned to Earth to get vengeance on the Illuminati, who he believed exploded his ship. And during this time, Skaar emerged from a cocoon in the lake and was raised by the Shadow People into what we see here. Now, of course, he's very similar to the Hulk, where he has superhuman strength, stamina, and leaping ability, as well as a healing factor, enhanced senses, and human transformation. So he looks really cool, and it's nice to finally get this version of Skaar, so an updated, more modern version compared to the old figure we have. Just looks very cool with this. Of course, he's in a big figure body, just like the Hulk. Now, of course, I just thought about it. I didn't grab a Hulk to like do size comparisons at all, but he looks pretty nice. So he has more of, I want to say, this paler green skin, so it's not nearly as bright and stuff as usually as Hulk is, but it looks pretty nice. And then he has the tattoos, like the Shadow People gave him some tattoos with this green design all over his body, so that looks nice. It's cool that he's got the long hair. So of course underneath we have like a Hulk-like face. Of course the hair's all in the way, but a Hulk-like face in there, but then the long black hair on top of it just looks really cool. So going down to the back and the strands hanging there in the front, we had a strap around his back, so it just goes all the way around, and he has kind of like a fur loincloth design with some almost like rock designs or something there, like armor wise, added onto him, with a sheath on the back as well to store one of his knives. Then we do get some like bracers and stuff around his arm. So on his hand he has some armor with some like leather wrappings around it and a band on the other side, and again more armor on his fist. Bare legs going down all the way to his feet, where he has the fur feet on there, or shoes I should say, and then has a little bit of rock armor on the front of them as well. So overall just looks really nice. This is nice, like barbaric Hulk design is what it more reminds me of, but very cool to just have a Skaar finally. But we'll do the movement. So the head will twist around. Of course, with the hair, it's going to be hard to twist too far. So yeah, just twist side to side and look down that far and then up that far. So again, just very little movements back and forth there. Then we can go out to the shoulders. That'll come up to 90 with the butterfly joint. Again, don't move back and forth a whole lot, but it is there. And we can rotate all the way around. Then we get the bicep twist, which was a little stiff there. And the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation all the way down to the wrist. They'll twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so he'll crunch forward, crunch back, so pretty decent crunching there back and forth, and should be able to sort of twist at the waist. I don't know if he'll twist all the way around, maybe probably with this outfit it doesn't really twist, but just a little side to side it feels like. Then we'll go down to the hips, that we can kind of force it up there close to 90. Again, the loincloth design is kind of in the way, so it can only go about that far, and out to the side, get the thigh twist all the way around the double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, pretty much kicking himself in the butt. And then he does have like a shin twist at the top of the boot. It's kind of hard to really get it spun around there, but there's a shin twist, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements, not the best. He has some inhibition, especially around the waist with getting the hips and the waist twist. Not sure what's going on with this underwear design or loincloth design, whatever, kind of gets in the way. And then I did notice he does have like pin joints and stuff, which isn't bad. It's just something to point out. So it's not a fully new body or anything, but he works out pretty nice for what he's got. Now accessory wise, we do get an additional head, so we have this head with the hair sort of more swept to the side we can try on. So there's that head, which the hair is a lot shorter, so it's not in the way, and of course blowing in the wind out to the side, so it's completely off the back of his neck there, so you can actually get the head to move more with that hinge joint, so it can move up and down, which is pretty nice. Overall, I don't really mind that look too much, like especially just from the front, it doesn't look bad. Of course, if you go to the side where his hair sort of split in the back there, it doesn't look as good, but that's not a horrible look at all for him. And then he does also come with additional hands. We get hands with grip hands. Of course, I always like fists for Hulk-like characters, but we get grip hands that will switch out. So there he's got the grip hands, and with those we can give him some weapons. So first we get a knife. So we get this knife that looks pretty cool, nice sharpened like blade with some teeth coming out of the side. Looks awesome. As I showed, we do have the sheath on the back there as well. So we can take and slide this into there. So it just sort of stores it on the back, but we can also go and just put this in his left hand. So there he's got the knife, and then he also comes with this big sword as well. So again, almost looks like a rock design sharpened into a sword put on this handle. So looks pretty nice. We can put this into his hand, and what's really nice is about this right hand also has an up and down hinge instead of back and forth. So it gives you a nice weapon wielding hand there as well. So he has that sword that he can handle. So that just looks really cool. So again, you can just pick and choose which hair design you like, and then give him the weapons, switch out the different hands. But as I mentioned, we have had the older Skaar, which I Like I said, we definitely needed this newer one. So here is that older one, which looks weird. Just the proportions are weird, just weird body design and all that. So getting this new one, you can see especially how much bigger this newer one is, looks much better and will fit a whole lot better on a shelf with Hulk and everything. So very cool to finally add a newer updated Skaar to our collection. Just looks so cool with this design. So they did an amazing job with this figure. And our final figure today is Ghost Rider, the Danny Ketch version. He was the younger brother of Johnny Blaze that was given away with his sister to Francis Ketch at a young age, where he and his sister were in a graveyard one night on Halloween when a fight broke out between two gangs there, and Barbara ended up being shot. So Danny grabbed her and ran to a nearby junkyard to hide, where there he found a motorcycle with a glowing gas cap, and when he touched it, it turned him into Ghost Rider, the spirit of vengeance, and that motorcycle turns into a flaming motorcycle when the gas cap is touched. So in the Ghost Rider form, he has superhuman strength and durability, as well as a healing factor, hellfire manipulation, a mystical chain, and a penance stare. And then of course the motorcycle has flame wheels and can drive up walls. So he looks pretty cool here. It looks, just like the other Ghost Riders we've sort of had and seen in the past, just obviously a different character this time, but still a similar design. So it has the skull head that is on fire, so it looks pretty nice with the flame effect coming off of it, and the skull there looks pretty nice as well. And then he has like the motorcycle outfit, so the black leather jacket on looks pretty nice with the spikes on the shoulders and spikes down on like the wrist gauntlets and stuff with black leather gloves. He's got a belt around the waist with the spikes on it, as well as has his whip chain there wrapped around him and a little bit of chain coming off the belt as well. Then he's got the gray leggings. I don't know if they're like sort of pants or just some sort of biker pants, could be leather or something, all the way down to the black leather boots there as well, look like motorcycle boots with a spike strap at the top of the left leg there as well. So overall, nothing too like crazy about it. And like I said, it just looks like Ghost Rider. And for me, a lot of the Ghost Riders look very similar, just, different designs over the years. So it's hard to really tell who's for me specifically. So it just looks like a Ghost Rider, but I really like this design form. Now, moonwise, we do get the head that'll twist around. Of course, hard to really twist with the fire, but it does twist around there. I don't know if you can get it to go all the way around or not. You probably have to force it there, but you can look down that far and up that far again. Trying not to really mess too much with it because not sure what's going on there. Don't want to break anything, but it's cool. You can see some like the spine design and then all the flames around it as well. And as you saw there, the mouth does open and close. Looks like it's a little bit off center there, but you can open and close the mouth if you want. Then we can go to the shoulders that do come up to 90 and we'll rotate all the way around. Get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend there, so very close to being all the way up on itself. Wrist will twist around and hinge back and forth with this hand. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back, nice crunching, and twist all the way around at the waist. Then the hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. A little bit drop down hip there as well. Thigh twist all the way around, real stiff though. And the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking his butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot. And the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent moves overall. His body seems a little bit loose, just like the stiffness there in the thigh was the only thing, but everything else is pretty nice and loose on him, which the looseness could cause some issues, just getting him to stand and stuff. He could fall back and forth easily, but doesn't really seem to have too many issues. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with some additional hands. So we get like this open hand as well as a fist hand, so just those different options for him. And of course, being a Ghost Rider, he comes with his chain, so the mystical chain that is normal at the bottom and on flame there towards the top, so we can put this in his hand. So it comes with that chain just like all the other Ghost Riders did as well. So that's pretty cool. And of course with this we do also get his motorcycle. So we get his motorcycle that looks pretty cool. So it's got a pretty nice design, almost like the skull design on the front, very similar to what we've seen before with the eyes cut out there. Got the wheels that are made of flame, so it looks pretty nice with the flame design on both the back and the front. Then the center is like all solid. It almost looks like armored out or something. So it's got this all black all the way around it, which looks pretty cool. Get a nice like maroon color like seating there. Of course the handles with all sorts of gauges and gas meter, all sorts of stuff there with the gas tank, and I assume that's maybe the glowing gas tank part that they touched to turn into Ghost Rider. Just looks pretty cool. Of course, spots for the feet there as well. Just a pretty cool motorcycle design. Of course, it doesn't have like a kickstand, or at least I don't see one anywhere, so we can put him on it and it'll just stand here like the other ones have, but it does come with some flame effects, which is cool. So we get these flame effects that can go on the front and back wheels. Now we get two of them. They are different, but I don't know if one goes one specific spot or the other, so I would think that the bigger one would go on the back wheel, kind of like that, and then the smaller one on the front wheel, so that kind of helps keep it standing. So we have it like that. So it's got the wheels on the front and back, or maybe does it curl? Yeah, maybe probably curls like that. That'd make much more sense. So there we can have it like that and then put Ghost Rider on it. So there he is on the motorcycle. Went on there pretty easily. No major issue, of course, with all his newer joints and stuff. Fits on there pretty well. No major issues. You know, I can get his feet on like the pedals and everything there. So works out pretty nice. Can easily get his hands on both handlebars if need to. So with that, that looks really cool. Having those flames coming off the tires like that, and of course, keeps the bike standing up. So that looks awesome. But we do also get another effect to keep the motorcycle up in the air, which I think is pretty cool. So there's a spot under here that's kind of like a hole that we can plug this into. So you can have the motorcycle like that. So I don't know if it still sits in the back one. Yeah, maybe not, because I may keep it up too high. But you can set it like that for sure. So keep it up in the air, which I think is really cool, because that's awesome. Having it sitting up in the air like that is ridiculously cool. So I really like that. So it's cool. It comes with that additional little effect to keep it up off the ground like that. That'd be cool to display on a shelf. That is just amazing. But I think obviously just to keep it smaller and everything, I'll just put it back on the normal one for now. So there, we'll keep it flatter to the ground. And of course, we have had other Ghost Riders. So we have this, I assume it's the Johnny Blaze version, of course, with the older design and motorcycle that we got there. Of course, very similar. You can see the similarities with the like design of the actual figure and stuff itself, with the skeleton head, fire, and of course that older body, which we've got more recently in a figure, just in the gray designs. So that looked really cool with that motorcycle design as well. And then for Danny Ketch specifically, we also have this version. So it's of course a later design, some more modern time design for him, where he's got the blue flames and stuff. I forget what the story behind this one was, but looks pretty cool with that there. Just a different version of Danny Ketch. So having this version of him as Ghost Rider looks really nice, and this motorcycle is just ridiculously cool, especially with those flame effects it comes with, just makes it even cooler. So very nice to have this version of Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Well, that's going to be it for our Marvel Legends 85th Anniversary Singles figures, where we got the Astonishing Wolverine, Superior Spider-Man, Warbird, Skaar, and Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. All of these figures are ridiculously cool. Of course, getting the updated versions of especially Astonishing, Superior, and Warbird are all really cool, as well as digging this Danny Ketch with this motorcycle that's just ridiculously cool, and the updated Skaar is just awesome. Like, all these figures are pretty much the perfect forms of them that we could have so far, so very nice to add all of these into our collection, and just really awesome designs. But let me know what you thought of these 5 figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.